Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you today. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here you are as the Knight of Cups. I feel like there is something you absolutely believe in, you know? You're the kind of person that when you feel something, when you feel passionately about something, there's no ability to contain it, you know? I feel like this is, you're the person that will stand up for an issue that they believe in, that will do everything they can to express what they feel inside, right? Sometimes with a knight of anything, any of the knights, right, we can be a little impulsive with things, but it really is just because we're moved so strongly from within, right, that you can't help but to express yourself. It's the same way that an artist, a painter, or a musician just feels like they have to play. There's something in there that has to be expressed, you know? So I feel like you're a very expressive person. I feel like you really want people around you to know how you feel about them. For better or for worse, you know? And sometimes I think you can tell people when you don't like them, and that's okay too. But I think this card really is about the giving and receiving of love and affection, and how you are, I think, focusing on that, focusing on how you share what's within you with the people that are around you, okay? Spirit's saying that there's someone that you're trying to make amends with, or that there's some sort of, now's not the time, I don't think. Okay, I feel like that is kind of intellectualizing things. Or maybe the idea here is that if there's somebody that you're trying to sort of resume relations with, or to reconcile something, or to make amends, don't approach it intellectually. Approach it from the heart, and let it be a sign, let it be a gesture, rather than a conversation. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I think that you're someone very, you're a kind person. And you love being kind to people, and it gives you a kind of joy to see others' joy and to help to create joy in the world around you. I think you're somebody that is very polite to people, but very kind to people. Just strangers. I think that you really just kind of are randomly kind, anonymously kind to people. And I think it gives you a sense of joy, and that feels very, very good. Let's see where this energy is going. What is it that we are really expressing? What is this water energy, this creativity that you feel so passionately about? What is your motivation right now? What is your purpose right now? Yeah. Let's see what other cards we've got today. Well, we've got we've got an Eon card. That's pretty abrupt. A Four of Cups underneath, a Princess of Pentacles, a Two of Swords. Two of Swords, very important, because I think it's saying don't over intellectualize things anyway, right? We've got a Nine of Swords, yeah, and I think that's really the problem. If there is a problem, we want to avoid the problem. We want to avoid that Nine of Swords, and I think that is if there is that person in your life that you're trying to sort of bond with, or get through to them, or somehow strengthen your connection with them. I think by intellectualizing it, by trying to have a rational conversation, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. Okay, so it's important that we avoid the Nine of Swords, and I think the Two of Swords is letting us know, don't go that way. Here we have a Nine of Pentacles. We've got a Three of Interesting. 3 of Swords, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Oh, 9 of Cups, very nice. And another 2, a 2 of Wands. Yeah, I think that there is, it has this feeling that there's another person in here, but I don't know that there is necessarily another person. I think it's kind of just the idea of life in general, people in general, or just what's outside of you generally, okay? And the way that you're trying to live your life in a more feeling-based way rather than in this intellectual way. And it's kind of like Spirit saying, don't intellectualize it, don't rationalize it, don't try to make plans, don't try to analyze things, because then we're going to end up stuck, right, or worse. Especially with this Eon card. There's really some sort of a doorway in front of you. There's a really opportunity. There's a really big chance. This is it. It's kind of like, this is the moment where you're going to live a different life, where you're going boldly going where no one's gone before. So we got to see what this doorway is leading to. I think ultimately it's leading to your superabundance, perfect happiness. But see, this is the obstacle, because something is tying you back. Something is kind of still preventing you from going through this doorway. And it might be a person, right? Maybe a Princess of Wands. It could be talking about a person. But with the air energy here, that's the obstacle right here. Okay, it's kind of a diagonal line of air energy. But let's select the mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here. And we're going to put Frankenduck right on top today. And, that card will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments, right? Let's do it together. Let's practice our intuition, okay? I think it'll be fun anyway. Let's look around the room and do a survey. The only major arcana card we have is the Eon card. The Judgment, the Rebirth, the Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. This is the doorway to the future. This is Spirit, the angel, the messenger of God, blowing the trumpet in your face. This is the spiritual alarm clock. Okay? It's saying, wake up. It's time to wake up now. And I think really waking up to this idea of we're sort of trying to fix problems by intellectualizing. That we're mentalizing how we feel rather than feeling it and sort of being guided with how we feel. In that way, we're trying to maybe change the course of the river with all of this analysis, whereas that water energy wants to flow, baby. You've got this really, really expressive Knight of Cups, right? It's not a Knight of Wands. It's not a Knight of Swords. It's the water energy. And I feel like it's a battle right now in you between your heart and your mind, okay? So anyway, let's see. We've got fire here, fire here. And of course our doorway, actually it was supposed to go like that. Our doorway here is fire. It's pure fire, right? And it's pure fire because it's going to require that you leave behind everything that's not essential now. So it's kind of like leaving your doubts, leaving your worries, leaving your pessimism behind, and move forward with whatever this is that your heart wants to do. Whether it's a relationship, an artistic expression, it's a passionate purpose, a social issue, a job, a career, a path at university, a way of life, if it's a pursuit of beauty and joy and love and bliss, right? Go in that direction. Leave behind all of your doubt, all of your pessimism. We don't want to get wrapped up we really don't even want to get wrapped up in all the planning energy either, right? Now's not really the time to plan, I don't think. So we've got, anyway, fire, fire. We've got water, 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 air, 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 and earth. A little bit of earth. So, it's fairly balanced, I'd say, between the water and the air. Okay, the fire and the earth are sort of secondary considerations. The spiritual energy in the reading is this wake-up call from Spirit, the trumpets blowing in your face, the alarm clock sounding, it's ringing. Now, we can, 4 of Cups, we can hit the snooze button. Because sometimes the 4 of Cups is, it's a stagnation, but we don't really recognize it as such yet. What I like to say is anytime we get a 4, we start looking around for the 5, right? Because anytime we get a 4, we realize that either things are just settling down from a rather stormy period, or there's another storm coming, we got to get ready. But right now, this is sort of a temporary thing. This is impermanent, this 4. Okay? And this might be really like a baseline feeling. Everything's okay. Not great, but there's no holes in the boat, right? Boat's not sinking, but we're not headed into our future either. So we're kind of idling. We're just sort of rocking back and forth in the boat. Maybe we're anchored somewhere, but we're in a safe cove, and that's it. We're preparing perhaps to head out to sea, right? And I'm with that Knight of Cups, yeah. So I think maybe that you just sort of got out of a rather turbulent period. I feel like this is kind of, we're looking behind us and seeing like a 5 of Cups behind us and saying, okay, well, good thing that storm, we got through that storm, it passed us by. Maybe we're not really ready for another big storm yet, right? And if we're being led by our Knight of Cups forward into this new passionate life, well, maybe we're not ready for the storm again. Maybe we just were, I don't want to take the chance right now, It sounds good, I want to do it, but, maybe my heart's not quite ready for that. Not that there's guaranteed to be another storm, but I think with that sort of passionate expression of your emotions, it's going to feel like a storm either way. It could be a very, very pleasant storm, a very welcome storm. We could really enjoy the stormy weather. I do, but it's also dangerous. Our house could flood, wash away, whatever. Bad things can happen, But here is a position where we're safe. This is a resting period, let's say, emotionally. Yeah. So I think there was recently some turbulence in your life, and it might be related to the Princess of Wands in the background here. But with the 4 of Cups, I think you're somebody who, after a emotional event in your life, I think you really do take time to process it. And I think that's what we got here with the 2 of Swords, is that sort of processing, where you like to sort of feel it and understand it and sort of recapitulate it, let it sink in. You sort of do a debriefing with yourself, and with spirit to kind of say, okay, what was the lesson to be learned there? The Princess of Wands in the background is what's behind you. This is yesterday's news. Maybe this was another sort of leaping in with great passion into something. Maybe it didn't quite work out, Maybe this is, you sort of leaped into something and it turned out to be a rather, rough storm. Okay, this is a lot of fire here, and this is, in some ways, this kind of feels like a smoldering fire. That, this was a big one. This was a storm. This was a whirlwind. This was a heck of a gale, But there's a reason why it's behind you, and it's not still something that's current. Okay, so I think that this was maybe you taking an emotional risk in the past, and all right, well, I'm not really ready to do that again. So maybe, maybe now that we're sort of getting this feeling again, and we're sort of ready for the next one, there's still this reluctance. There's still sort of this air obstacle that we need to get through in order to really make the decision, which is the 2 of Wands at the end. Make that decision to go through this doorway and to, the alarm clock's ringing. We can hit the snooze button a few times. That's kind of what this is. We can hit the snooze button a few times, but eventually we're going to have to get up and get to it, Because this is something that I think really matters to you. This is something that feels right. And, if this past thing didn't quite work, we're going to try it again. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to still go after what I feel and live my life according to, my internal driving force, those passions, right? We think of emotions sometimes as our response to what happens around us, and that's really a part of the 4 of Cups, because things will happen in our world and we'll have an emotional reaction to it. And sometimes we get moved to act in a certain way in response to the energy coming in. I think you're trying very, very carefully to know the difference between the emotion and the passion, right? Because passion is sort of an affect or an emotional energy that then leads you into action, right? But it's not necessarily a response to something that's happening outside of you. It's something that wells up from within, from spirit. It's a more pure part of yourself, right? Rather than a reaction to what's going on around you, where other people's energy moves us to some sort of action. We're moving ourselves with passion, you know? And I think you're trying to distinguish between those. So with this Four of Cups and this period of recapitulation, of debriefing, of sort of staying in calm in the cove, you know, where we're anchored and we're safe here, I think it's really trying to disconnect from the energy of somebody else who has perhaps in the past moved us to certain actions. And so now we're starting to make sure we're going through that process of sort of intuitively differentiating. This is the Two of Swords. It's like we're splitting everything into two parts. Now, what part of that is me responding or reacting to the world around me? And what part of that is like a pure expression of myself, you know? When we feel so moved to do something, anything, right? Is that coming from a deep kind of soul desire in me? Or is it coming as a response to what somebody else has sort of moved me to do? You know, using that emotional energy. And so the Two of Swords, I think, is you trying to sort of, you know, contemplate that. Spend some time in this quiet period, in between the storms, in between the rush of activity and passion and emotion, to try to understand, you know, why you do what you do, why you make the decisions that you make, and what's the right decision right now, you know. How to move forward with this passionate energy that you feel, and to try to ask the question, what is really motivating me? Why do I feel compelled to act in this certain way, or to pursue this particular reality, you know, this self-expression? The Two of Swords is also reminding us that a lot of this has to come from the intuition. We see that crescent moon at the very top of the card. Then the Two of Swords is sometimes it's like a big X. It's like a big like railroad stop sign kind of thing, you know. And it could be really that it's that intersection sign, you know, where this is the point where two opposing views meet right in the middle. And maybe this is the realization that it's not either or. It's not I'm moving myself to action or I'm being moved by somebody else outside of me that's sort of, you know, pushing me to do certain things, right? I think maybe it's a blending of the two. Maybe this is that crossroads where we realize that we exist somewhere in the middle. That a lot of our lives is, well, we could say it's nature versus nurture, right? What's coming from the environment influencing behavior, and then what's coming from within me because of who I am, because of my past experiences, genetics, culture, history, ancestry, all that stuff. And my own, you know, personal work and spirituality and all this stuff, how that is motivating me, influencing me towards certain types of behavior. Right? So we're kind of understanding our patterns a little bit better. And I like this. I think this is good. It's also Spirit's way of saying, don't overthink it. Right? That if you're feeling moved in this certain way, it sounds to me like the trumpet is sounding, like Spirit is calling, like this doorway is here. It's kind of like, you know, we say it's the trumpet or the spiritual alarm clock. Maybe this is like, you know, Spirit's ringing the doorbell and knocking and ringing the doorbell and knocking like they're selling vacuums or something, you know. They just relentless. They're not going to stop. And of course they say that, you know, opportunity knocks only once at anyone's door. I think that once it moves on to the next house, it's not going to come back and try again. But while it's here, it's going to keep knocking for a few minutes. It's not just going to, you know, where you don't want the person to answer. You just tap lightly on their door. Oh, they didn't answer. I'm moving on, you know. No, it's like pounding on your door because Spirit wants you to answer this call. Okay. And I think it has a lot to do, obviously, with this Knight of Cups and how you are expressing yourself and how you are taking your gift, whatever your gift is, and you're giving it to the world. You're expressing it in some way. You're taking a risk. You're opening yourself up. You're putting your heart in a little very cool red cup or bowl, and you're saying, here I am, world. You know, the Princess of Wands in the background could also be talking about a younger female energy in your life. That there is some kind of an emotional connection to, or there's some sort of, this might be where at the beginning I said there's some sort of a rift or some sort of a disconnect between you and somebody else, especially with this Three of Swords over here, okay? The Nine of Swords is kind of, this is the prospect of the storm. This is what we kind of are looking ahead and thinking, I really don't want that to happen. You know, maybe I don't want to leave the house because it could be raining poisonous daggers out there, you know. What if I do this and it's a complete disaster and it's devastating and it's a loss and I'm suffering and it's painful and it's traumatic, and these kinds of things, the Two of Swords sort of influencing this, becoming, it's multiplying, right? Our thoughts sort of, like bunny rabbits, right? They're just, you know, exponential growth, reproduction of the thoughts. One negative thought becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 64, 128, 256, you know, all down the line. And so we got to be careful with that, okay? Because it's just going to snowball. And that's why I'm pretty sure Spirit's saying, listen to your intuition, follow your heart, follow your gut. But I feel like you're kind of saying, yeah, I want to follow my gut, but my gut's saying, maybe I'm going to get into that storm again. Maybe it's going to not be so good, right? Now this is something we have to sort of work on. And I want to point out we have 9, 9, and 9, okay? And I think that's significant. I think that's kind of a number that says, you got to do what is within you. You've got to put it forth. To me, it feels like an affirmation. And you know what? On that note, let's do a language of flowers affirmation, because I feel like this is the 999 saying, just do it. You know, take the risk. Well, let's see what language of flowers has. The forget-me-not. Okay, remembrance, memories, and the past hold the key. So, when we're talking about the Eon card, like I said, it's a doorway of fire, right? Because it's gonna require you to let go of everything that it doesn't serve you anymore right now. Okay, it's telling you that you have to leave behind everything that's not essential right now. In other words, I think the memory, Three of Swords, memory of whatever this either person or this incident or this period of time was in your life, which I think, again, is when you sort of put yourself out there and you took a risk, and you know, it was a different version of you, okay? And you know, there was something there. There's a connection there. There's something you're still holding on to there that I think Spirit's saying the key is here, and maybe the key is letting go of this, right? We have this doorway here, and it's a painful doorway. We can't seem to get it open, yeah, because we're holding on to this still. And if we're holding on to this, maybe it's a little too cumbersome to try to fumble for the key in the door to unlock it, you know, because this, right? And we're going to talk about the path of the serpent now. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. And it really does support the channel, and I really do appreciate the support. All right, thank you. The 9 of Pentacles. I mean, this is a situation, you know, that this could change everything for you. Maybe this is a business thing. Maybe this is starting a new career. Maybe this is starting something new at school. Maybe this is a doorway to the future that just says, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to start trying to publish my manuscript. I'm going to, you know, send my demo tape out to people. I'm just going to do it, you know? Because you know the potential here. This is all about gain. This is all about progress. This is all about moving forward and seeing the reality being built right before your eyes. So I think when you really use your intuition, when you follow that lunar energy of that Two of Swords, instead of intellectually saying, yeah, you know, the odds are against me, and I don't really know all the right people, and I don't think I'm really ready. I don't know if it's time. I don't know if my work is correct. I don't know if I really actually want this. We start intellectualizing it, and it's going to go nowhere. Allow yourself to visualize and see everything being built up from the ground rising up, and visualize all the details, and then visualize yourself there walking around, enjoying it, whatever it is. It could be a relationship, romance. It could be a creative expression, a creative venture or endeavor. It could be a career, work thing, school thing. It could be friends, could be family. Okay? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Visualize the outcome that you want, and you realize that this is something worth pursuing. But what we run into, and I think that you're somebody that sort of likes to see the visible signs of progress. You know, you like to see some kind of, it's almost like when you go to the ice cream parlor. Yeah, I'm old. We still call them ice cream parlors. And you have to get a sample of the ice cream before you really pick what you want. Because you don't want to suffer and get the wrong kind of ice cream. You don't want to have regrets. You don't want to feel as if you missed out on the really good flavor, you know. There was a time where I was trying to experiment with food and things like this, and there was some place I went to get a Vietnamese sandwich, you know, a banh mi, and they had avocado smoothies. I said, yeah, caution to the wind, let's try it. Nope. Messed my stomach up for days after that, and I didn't enjoy it. And so, you know, if I could have had a sample, then I would have said, oh yeah, I don't like it. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to just go with strawberry, right? And I think you're kind of the same way, that you don't want to go all in on something, invest in something, pay for something, and then really not like it, or have it, I mean, worse than not like it, right? I mean, you get the stomach trouble for a while. Maybe it's because avocados, the fat content or something. I don't know. I don't have a gallbladder. Maybe that's it. But anyway, having a little sample, just give me a little glimpse, lift the veil a little bit and let me see that this is possible, then I'll go all in, right? But if it's just all veiled, it's all in shadow, you're more reluctant to do it. Yeah. And that's kind of the Nine of Pentacles to me. It's like, I want to see a little bit of the progress first. It's the person that sort of dips their toe in the water first to check the temperature versus the person that's just running and cannonballing into the pool. I don't know, hot or cold, I don't know. I alternate between the two. Sometimes I like to just jump in, other times I'm sort of testing the water first, you know. And I feel that that's kind of where you're at right now. And I'll tell you, the Knight of Cups, this is someone that's just jumping and cannonballing in to the pool. They're not dipping their toe in the water. Maybe if we had a princess of cups, we would be dipping our toe in, but not today. I think we're cannonballing in. But the Three of Swords is the memory. The Three of Swords is in the environment. So there is something around you. There is something literally in your life that still like reminds you of this, or it's an active sort of a habit or something that you're in of thinking about this situation. And I don't know if maybe the people are still around, or if there's some sort of, if you still have stuff, right? If you still have something connected with this person, maybe this was a relationship that, you parted ways, right? Maybe it really kind of went south. This could be, more than that. It could be really that a loved one has passed on to spirit, okay? The Three of Swords is saying that this situation from the past still bothers you. And there's still like maybe an active reminder of it somewhere in your life. Could be that you have a keepsake, or you have a picture, or you sort of have, boxes of their stuff for personal effects, or pictures or something like this that, maybe it's the reminder's like kind of always there. You walk down the hallway, you see the picture, and it kind of brings everything back up again. So I think this is a big part of things too. And I think that spirit, the forget-me-not, remembrance, right? Memories and the past hold the key. The key is in this past situation. And so there's something about this that you're being told to look at, understand, and then let go of. Okay? And it might be understanding kind of either what went wrong here, or understanding that, maybe nothing went wrong. Maybe this wasn't anything that you did. So there should be no regret or fear about this situation, whether this was a relationship, friend, family member, lover. Maybe this was a business thing. Maybe this was, a career or a university kind of school education thing, whatever it is, right? There's something there that's going to unlock this doorway and free your mind from this idea that you're not ready or that you can't move forward with something. Because on the other side of the 9 of Pentacles, right, you go through the 3 of Swords, we get that 9 of Cups. And oh, that's beautiful. And oh, that is the best. This is super abundance, right? This is abundance on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. This is something that is satisfying every level of your being, every layer of you, every realm of existence in your soul is being satisfied and is receiving the blessings and the miracles and the abundance of whatever this path is. And this is kind of the obstacle here. And I think the obstacle is for you to see this. And we can look at it a couple ways. When you're over here in bed and we're the alarm clock's ringing, we can't see the 9 of Cups because we're looking this way. If you're looking, maybe I'll use my little pointer, my wand. If you're looking this way, you're going to see through the bars. All you're going to see is this storm. You're not really going to be able to make out the image of how good it could be. And even when you're over here, right? You're looking this way, you can't really see the 9 of Cups because you're looking in the dark recesses of your memory, right? And so there's something in here that's going to allow you to unlock these bars and be able to move forward this way. You see? But it comes down to a decision at 9. I mean, the 2 of Wands on the other side of that 9 of Cups. Yeah, and the 2 is all about that decision. It's all about you making the executive sort of decision to do it. You've got the agency, you've got the power. This is your domain. This is your dominion, right? You own all this. You own your life, right? And you're taking responsibility. So this is either a yes or a no. And it's like that with the 2 of Swords too. It's kind of like, is this a yes or no problem? It kind of is. It's either go or don't go. Yeah, it's either try it or don't. It's either you get up out of bed and turn the alarm clock off, or you stay in bed and you keep snoozing. Or you just turn off the alarm clock, unplug it or whatever altogether. The only way to get that 9 of Cups is to move forward with this adventure, with this passion, whatever it is that you're feeling right now. Whatever it is that your soul wants you to do, that spirit is trying to open the door for you to get to. You've got to take the risk to do it, Let's look at the mystery card. Yeah. Thank you, Franken Duck. I'd like to see the success. I'd like to see something that shows you made a good choice, right? So, Wheel of Fortune. The World or Universe card. I think a 10 of Cups or a 10 of Pentacles also would show that you've arrived at that success, that this is fully realized. But I don't know. If you have a prediction for this card, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. A King of Wands. Okay. I like it. Because the King of Wands is fixed fire energy. And maybe it's showing up, maybe this is the key. Okay, because the fixed fire energy is sustained effort, a sustained interest over time. Okay? Maybe the 4 of Cups with the Princess of Wands is saying the last time, or whatever this sort of past iteration was, that perhaps you didn't sustain your interest and it sort of waned and you sort of let go of it and it sort of fizzled out. It just didn't captivate you enough for you to sustain your interest. Like this is someone with the King or the Prince of Wands, which is this card, the fixed fire energy, that we get involved with something and we stick with it. At first, this new thing we have is exciting. I love it. It's so interesting to me. I'm captivated. I'm all jazzed up. I'm all enthusiastic. But then we keep doing it. We keep doing it. We keep at it. Keep at it. It gets boring. 4 of Cups is kind of a boring card, right? We get bored, and sometimes we just ditch it for something better. Or we just say, nah, that must not be for me because I don't feel the love anymore. I don't feel jazzed up about it like I used to. So it must be not for me. But the secret, the key, I think, because of the King of Wands, is that we push through, even through that difficult, boring period. And if we can get through that, then on the other side, we're rewarded with glory. You know, that this thing now has become a part of us, that it is just, we're inseparable from this thing. And it is, we are a part of it, it's a part of us. There is a union, a spiritual union. But we have to go through that phase, right? At first, it's wonderful. Then it becomes sort of the enemy. Then on the other side, it's sort of, we're resurrected, and it becomes a spiritual experience, yeah? That is the key that I think you're looking for, and especially when we take that into consideration with the past and the memories and the past that holds the key. Because the Princess of Wands is a very impulsive energy. The Princess of Wands starts something, loses interest, something else. And I'm not saying this is you. I'm not saying that's I don't think that's how you operate. But I feel like in that situation that maybe there was a loss of interest, there was a loss of excitement and enthusiasm, and you made a decision to do something else. Okay? And that happens. We all do that. But I think the key, if you want this one to succeed, we've got to push past. I'm just talking too fast and mixing words up. We have to push past that feeling of boredom or aversion to the thing. And if this is the right thing for you, then you push past that. Okay? And that 9 of Cups is yours. This is kind of spooky because I feel like we got the key here. I feel like we sort of asked, we knew that there was something about this past thing, and I kind of got the chills now. This is a little spooky here, but I think this is right on. And the fixed fire energy is the thing. You know, we have to push past even when things start to feel a little bit, when things start to get boring, and then worse, we really start to just loathe it. You know, I don't even want to look at the thing anymore. You know, it's but if you have the ability to push past that state, that phase, you will be greatly rewarded on the other side. All right. Now we're going to do an extended reading on the other side, and I want you to join me. So click on the link up here, or there's one down below. New readings for Sagittarius are on Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, and I love you. And we're all in this together.